Check 1, 2, 3. All right, there we go. All right. It's been a minute since I've done a live, so my setup's a little janky right now. I see we got Cognition 1. Let's see if I can pop this up here. How do I don't even remember to do any of this? Let's see. I don't remember how to bring. There we go. There we go. It would be funny if you were watching the delivery truck come up the driveway while the clock was counting down to start. That would be awesome. I wish I had that set up. Dang it. Now I wish I had something like that planned. Next time. That'd be funny. If I can like connect my home security camera to live stream. Can't hear. All right. Can you? All right. Better now. I'm here. Nice. Okay. It's all still working. Okay. So I actually ordered the Nikon ZR from Nikon's website, and I was worried it wasn't going to get here early enough. But it actually arrived like 2 p.m.-ish, 2:30 p.m., and I didn't get home until it is now 10:30. I didn't get home till close to 10. So I wasn't going to do this, but I figured why not? Go ahead and do it now. Late, but here's the box. For people that are into boxes. People into boxes? Okay. So, we'll go ahead and just open this up here. I'm not really into unboxing videos, but I thought this could be fun to do it live. This camera I am excited for because I have a Komodo X, and this is going to be the B cam to that, which is going to be nice to have something light. It's ready to go on the gimbal. All right, and I don't know if I can get this. You can see here. Oh, this is not originally how I wanted to do this, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the camera out now. All right. Oh, it feels heavier than I thought. I'm assuming that's the camera. Battery, which I've been hearing that. I don't know if is my volume okay, or should I turn my volume up? You guys hear me okay? You hear me okay? Let me know in the comments if you can hear me. If you can hear me loud enough, I guess that is. All right. I don't know what else, if there's anything else in here. Nah, it looks like it. All right. So, I've heard that the battery has always shown up dead in these cameras. So, I thought ahead and I bought a tilted battery and already pre-charged it. Okay, before I unwrap this bubble wrap, we catch up here in the comments. If I can bring it up. How did I do that last time? There we go. Since you are a KX owner, are you using a NAS larger storage solution as well, which might come in handy, I hear, for the ZR? Yeah, yeah, that is one of the biggest concerns I have with the ZR is, so I am a KX owner. I also shoot on a lot of other cameras. I own a couple FX6s too. To be honest, the FX6s are the main workhorses as of now. The Komodo X has different compressions such as ELQ and LQ, whereas the Nikon ZR, I've been told, is equivalent to the Nikon R3D NE RAW in this camera is equivalent to the data rate of MQ on the red Komodo XZ. Well, XZ is what I got, the Z mount, which those files can be pretty big. I mostly shoot in ELQ or LQ, MQ for very large projects. So are like very important projects that I really want to make sure I have that flexibility in. So kind of stuck at a high data rate, high quality on this. I don't know if that's going to come with the firmware where they'll allow you to do some lower compressions. For me, I would love to have a lower compression on this camera. I'm not answering your question. Your question was, do I use a NAS? No, but I do plan to get one. My media solution, actually on the channel, it's an older video. On the channel, I'll go over my workflow and storage solution when it comes to project file management to archiving and backups. That really hasn't changed. It's not the most efficient, but it is the most, what's the value-friendly way? I'm looking into a NAS, but right now it's kind of hard to, I'm kind of too far down that road. I need to get one eventually, for sure. It's on the plan, but I'm not sure what size to get to start out with. But I do need one. That is definitely something I'm going to upgrade to. But right now, basically, to sum it up, I have SSDs for current projects. I get an SSD and a hard drive for each current project. I try to keep them separate, depending on each project. And then I take the project, offload them to SSD. I also offload a backup of everything on the drive. And then whether I'm editing in Premiere or DaVinci, if I'm in Premiere, I make sure I have a cloud backup of the project always up. And the second backup hard drive is always disconnected. And then when I'm done with the project, I archive it to 2 drives. I know it's a lot. It takes up a lot of space. Yeah, not efficient, but it is doing everything I need to do. But at this point, I have 100 terabytes or so that I need to back up, but I need to get a NAS that maybe I don't need access to everything right away. But yeah, that is something I need to figure out with, and something I am concerned about if I ever do a 2-camera setup. All right, I don't know if I've turned my volume up since you said that. Did I pump it up a little more? Is this better? Is this worse? Here is... All right, I think it's about as high as I can jack it. Also, I can probably get a little closer to this microphone. So, is that better? Is the audio better there? Let me know. I don't know how to get these to go off. There we go. Okay. So originally I had a Stream Deck app set up for this, and I don't have that right now. I haven't figured this out yet, but I do have an Elgato Stream Deck Plus. I need to figure out a setup with all this. Not quite there yet, but all right. Let's unwrap this bubble wrap. Do we want some ASMR bubble wrap? I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm sure you don't want that. All right. Ooh. There she is. You're seeing it before me. So, oh, we got it. Touch out of focus. Touch out of focus. Oh, jeez. So, I need to flip the screen out, but I can see that audio's better. Good. The screen is huge. It's not even the screen, but just looking at the back plate. Man, this autofocus is super sticky on this. No, go, go, go. All right. Man, that's almost a phone. Not really, but I don't know if this gives you any context. The thing is huge. Here's my Pixel 9 Pro XL. Does that even give you any? Wish I had like my oh, I can probably grab my A7 IV and show you like that screen next to it, but all right. Man, it is thin. It's funny because I used to hate these mirrorless body styles, which is still not my first pick. I definitely prefer something like an FX6 or the KX. What am I shooting on now? I am shooting on, this is the Sony FX6 on, it's actually a Sirui sniper lens, which is it's an autofocus version. It's just a very, very cheap crop sensor lens. And I'm actually shooting in full frame mode on the FX6, which is interesting because, let me show you with clear image zoom. Where's my rocker? I don't know if you can see. I want to remove my hand. There is, yeah, you can kind of see it. There is vignetting going on, and that is because this lens is not meant for full frame, but it almost covers full frame. So I just put it on the FX6 full frame because it's the widest lens I kind of want to play with in here for this. It's just live streaming here on YouTube. So, and I use a little bit of clear image zoom, crop in a bit. So it's not quite 16, but it's still pretty wide. Yeah, that's what I'm on right now. Thank you, Cogmission, for joining in. talking to me this late. I didn't think it'd be on this late. I thought it'd be kind of crazy going live this late, but I want to go ahead and do that. So, let's look at the sexy part here. I forgot Nikon goes the opposite way. That is something that is always taking me a while to see here. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that grip is not really much of a grip. I did get a full cage for this. And I'm not sure I'm going to use that all the time, because the whole reason I got this was to have something that is very stripped down. But I did want the option to rig it up if I wanted to. Here's the screen peel. I just like looking at the screen on there. Okay, now let's pop a battery in it. I'm gonna try the battery it came with first, see if there's any. If I lost it already, did I lose it already? There it is. Also, I'm curious. I'm gonna mess with some of my live stream settings here because this is, like I said, it's been a minute since I've used this. I should reset my whole computer all. There's a TV on in the background. Hopefully you can't hear that. I'm trying to find all my app stuff here. Are we on? Okay. Yeah, great for close quarter shooting. No, it is. It really is. I like it. It's a 1.2, which is super impressive for. I mean, if you are familiar with the Nightwalkers or heard of the Nightwalkers, I also reviewed them here on this channel. The Nightwalker ones, the manual versions. They're one of the most affordable lenses you can get with that kind of shallow, fast enough to open up that wide and kind of get that full frame-ish bokeh that people may want in a crop sensor. So I got it to have something for more of like content creation, YouTube stuff for my Komodo X, because I don't have anything that wide, but this is super affordable for a crop sensor lens. And like as you can see here, it does work on full frame. Okay, here's the battery. Yeah, Nikon's opposite is an unfortunate reaction to their Canon rivalry. Wish that hadn't happened, and uniformly is the best for the industry. Wish that hadn't happened, as uniformity is best for the industry. Yeah, it's funny because I never was. I started on Canon way back in the Rebel days. I like Canon, never had an issue with them. But I remember I really got into video professionally when the A6000s were really taking off. The A6500 was A6500. I had the Panasonic GH4. I went Panasonic, and the A6500 were like my two workhorses that got me off my feet and get started. But I liked them both. I loved them both. Actually, I miss my GH4s. I miss the tiny lenses and all. And then Sony, my wife, Caitlin, which I've seen is in the comments, or was, she shoots a lot of Sony too. So we had a lot of Sony glass. So even when I went red, I'm still shooting a lot of Sony glass. So a lot of E-mount at least, maybe not Sony brand, but we are heavily invested in E-mount. So Z-mount actually wasn't that bad to jump to. Okay, I'm popping the battery in. Let's see. I don't even want to touch that screen. Oh, it's touch screen. I want to keep it clean. And on. It's just a power button you push. I like the green. Okay. Yeah, that battery is dead. So I'm going to turn this off. It's really, I don't want to shut it off. I'm in the middle. So I've heard these batteries take forever to charge, but they last a while too. So I've heard you can get almost like an hour and a half or something. And they take almost 2 hours to charge or something like that. So that's why I went ahead and just prepped one extra. I also did get a dummy battery, the V-Lock mount. I can probably get the cage here in a sec if you guys want to see it. Caitlin says, I'm still in the comments. Yep. I see you. All right. Power this on. It says either no lens attached or attached to the lens, a non-CPU lens to shoot. Okay. Is that it? Like there's no... That's interesting. Usually cameras like walk you through like the date, time, and look. You know, I just straight up went straight to the menu. So, all right, I guess I'll try popping a lens in here. So I have a couple of E-mount lenses in here. I'm gonna try, which is something I'm interested to see how the autofocus works using the Megadap adapter. So I'm gonna use a G Master 50mm here with. I'm doing this all live for the first time, so I don't even know if this is. Watch autofocus not even work. I haven't seen anybody test any E-mount yet. I'm sure there are people testing them. I just haven't seen it yet. This Megadap adapter super thin. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that. Super thin. Man, that focus is struggling there. So. It is so weird seeing the red name on this camera. Where is the... I don't even know where the dot is here. Oh my gosh. Where is the freaking... There it is. All right. Ooh. It's bright. All right. So autofocus is going to work. We're in video. It is... I am... Okay. I'm not used to not having all these. I want buttons. I want more buttons. I'm just trying to figure out how to change the shutter right now. It looks like autofocus is working. Looks like face detect is working. I can't tell if this is the middle. There it is. Okay. So its screen is massive. It seems way bigger in person than it does online. Oh, nice. A Megadap test. That's cool. Yeah, like 2mm thick because the flange distance is super tight between Z and E. Yeah, and I want to know if Nikon did that on purpose or if that was just a happy accident. You know, because it's the only mount. That was the issue with E-mount lenses was you couldn't really take them anywhere. You know, you could mount so much to E-mount mount, but not the E-mount lenses to other bodies. So when the KX was announced, that's why I jumped on that. That was just like a no-brainer. But this is wild. Okay, so I'm still trying to figure out how to change the freaking shutter. So I don't know what the scroll wheel is default to right now. Photo, video. Okay. Hold. So you push it once, hold to go in the deep menu. We're gonna have two cameras set up for this, but did not feel like setting that up this late. Shooting mode auto. Yeah, that's probably why I need to go manual. Okay. Assuming that's video. Yeah, there we go. All right, here's my settings. 150. I keep looking for like, oh, there is a scroll in the front. Okay, there it is. Aperture's up here. ISO still auto. I don't want that. I don't want auto ISO. Video quality is in video file H.265 Pro. This is amazing to see in RAW, R3D NE, ProRes RAW HQ, ProRes 422 HQ, H.265 10-bit, H.265 8-bit. You got MOV and MP4 of H.265 and H.264 and MP4 8-bit. Now I've heard the H.265 10-bit is 420 and not 422, so it's not as color depth. Yeah, Nikon playing that one pretty well. Yeah, Nikon really, I mean, came in with the uppercut on the industry with this, and I mean not just this. I mean the red purchase, Never would have guessed I'd be on Nikon right now. Oh, something I want to look at too is the my cable. One thing I want to look at is the ports. We got the wonderful. Ooh, I don't like the rubber. Whatever. I always feel like I want to pull these out, but I wish it was like a door or something. The beautiful micro HDMI, which, I mean, is what it is. I'm not too worried about it. Mic input and headphone input. Yep. Okay. It's so tiny. What was I trying to do on here? What was I trying to do? I don't remember what I was looking for here. Okay. Is there anything you guys want to know in the settings here you want me to look for? If there's anything while I'm going through this, I'm going to go ahead and put it into, I'm going to put it in R3D RAW. Frame size. I want 6K, 2398. Video quality in RAW. No, why is it? I don't know what it's. Yeah, there we go. Okay, image area, ISO sensitivity. Base is set low. White balance Kelvin. Manage picture. Vignette control. Auto distortion. Video flicker. Focus area. 32-bit flow audio recording. Let's flip that on. Wait, audio input sensitivity set to manual. Okay. Record audio input set to, okay, yeah. All right. Let's not even get into RF mount, LOL. I'm looking to pick up a KX, but can't decide which mount to get. I want Z to E compatibility, but also want the breakthrough DMF or DFM, which doesn't come in the Z at the moment. Breakthrough, is that the, what is DFM? Is that the, are you talking about like the in-between mount between the camera there? Did you see any settings that would be good for photography? Well, this is definitely a photography second camera. Maybe even third or fourth, maybe. But I am curious to use this because this is replacing my A7 IV. So I still have that. I'm selling my A7 IV because I'm not going to use it with this. I don't take a lot of photos, but the A7 IV was my B cam to my FX6 until I got a second FX6, and then now I have a Red. So I wanted a B cam to that, and this is just all around better for me. I mean, the A7 IV will probably be a better camera for somebody else. So I don't really care that it doesn't have a mechanical shutter. Yeah, the drop-in ND filter. That's what I thought. Yeah, that was why does this go like, I don't know. Yeah, the drop-in ND filter would be nice, especially coming from an FX6 to the Komodo X. It is like not second nature to me to like remember to grab an ND that's not built in, and having something like that would be awesome. Yeah, it really sucks not having that. I wish there was some way to do that, but that is the pro to the RF, having that built in. But honestly, like, it wasn't a make or break for me. I had so much E-mount glass that I was invested in, and then I have some decent NDs, and I got the Polar Pro base camp kit, so I have a nice ND set. So honestly, since I had the Polar Pro base camp set, and then ended up not using it that much because I had the FX6 with the built-in ND. So I missed the beginning of this getting you unboxing. Yeah, there wasn't much. You didn't miss much. Pretty much is like this, but it started like something like this, and I flipped it up, and then pulled that. There was some paperwork, and then the camera came out in some bubble wrap. That's it. There's not much there. Oh, and a neck strap. Because every Red camera should come with a neck strap. What's been the early verdict? Well, the early verdict of the camera coming out of the box is that it's out of the box. So I have not shot with it yet, so I can't tell you anything about that. It looks promising. I purchased this as a B cam to my Komodo X, and more of like an all-around pocket content creation camera, even for stuff here on YouTube. So that's kind of the main reason that I made the purchase. I missed it as well. Hey, same boat here. I was trying to sell my Sony gear to go full into ZR and Red KX workflow. Yeah, so if you're going to are you switching? I'm curious to know, are you switching to Z mount? Or do you have a lot of E mount lenses you want to take over to your system? Because I'm trying to find more people that are actually using E-mount lenses and trying different adapters. Right now I have the Megadapt adapter I've been using on my KX, and it seems to be working fine. And I'm really interested to know if the Viltrox adapter is going to work as well, or just as well as this. I've heard good things, but I've also had trouble with, and if anyone's using any Megadapt adapter with the KX Z mount, my Viltrox autofocus lenses and my Sirui autofocus lenses kind of quit working. They kind of just disconnect after a while. It'll work for a moment, they just quit. Autofocus won't work. But my other third party, like Sigma, works just fine. And G Master works fine too on the KX with the Megadapt adapter. So I don't know if, I'm pretty sure it stopped working after an update on the KXE. So that's just something I've been wanting to hear about with that. Why do these comments not center? It bugs me they don't center. Center it and it doesn't stay. I love that. I love the at the ZR is red color and Nikon autofocus. Yes. So it's like kind of the mix of both worlds. Even though you're not getting the exact 16-bit RAW you get out of the KX, and you're getting something new, but it is equivalent to the data rate. I was saying this earlier in the video. It is equivalent to the data rate of MQ on the Komodo X, and you're stuck at that. And I don't know if that's something that gets fixed with a firmware update where they can add maybe LQ at least, or ELQ. That'd be amazing. ELQ and something like this would be awesome. But yeah, the red color is my favorite. It's just my favorite. R3D RAW is my favorite codec to work with. It just is. I've used those Nikon neck straps. I would have preferred a battery charger instead. Did it come with a battery charger? Did it not come with? Oh, maybe you're asking because I didn't say it did. It did come with a USB-C cable and the neck strap. So, yeah, and a battery. It did come with a battery. The battery is dead when it arrives. It seems like everyone showed up that way. So I thought ahead and bought me a Tilta one and charged. Have you heard of the new Kipper tie electronic drop-in filter? Almost released. Only thing with that is that I wonder what the flange clearance would be. Thinking for Nitsi Athenas. Yeah, like going PL like is an option too that I've thought about doing. I don't own the PL, but I thought about buying a set to have that option to be able to have some drop-in. I have not heard of the Kipper tier electronic one. I know of, was it Mofage? Heard of that one. I'll look that one up though. I'll look it up right now. Let's see if my scenes are still set up here. Nope, not that one. There we go. Let's see. How does this work? What is it called? You see my whole screen. I had another monitor, but I don't have it hooked up right now. So, what'd you call it? The Kipper. And you guys can see my whole setup here. How I got this going here. I lost it. Where'd it go? Kipper tie. On my keyboard. Kipper tie. Electronic drop-in. Ooh. Pricey. No, I have not seen this before. So is that, okay, is it only with the RF in there? Is that only RF mount? So I see, I'm just looking at the ND filter part. Well, not even the actual adapter, am I? So it's electronic, that's cool. So it's like the scroll, kind of like the FX6, the variable on that. That's pretty cool. Yeah. No, I've not seen that. That looks pretty neat. Z-mount, all Sony glass. Yeah, so I'm in that boat right now. All Sony glass, Megadapt. Like I said, the Megadapt adapter works so far on G Master. Works pretty well. I mean, it works pretty well to say that it's working. I mean, the KX autofocus is not like, I mean, using something like my Sony FX6, it is not like my Sony FX6s. I'm so spoiled with autofocus on that. So I kind of use it, and I've heard someone mention it as like autofocus. It's like autofocus assist, like assist autofocus. So I really like lenses that have a toggle for autofocus, manual focus, or something, where I'll use it to like set it, switch it to manual, and then kind of go in from there. And then if I need it, kind of flip it on and off. It just really depends. But it has been, it's still earning my trust, the autofocus on it. But I don't know if I was saying this earlier when you were on or not, mindful grinds. But the Megadap adapter, and I want to try the Viltrox one, and I've heard it works just as well. But it's only $100 for the Viltrox, and the Megadap is $250, and I haven't had any issues with it so far. But I want to say it happened after my Komodo X updated. The Sirui and the Viltrox lenses they'll work for a moment, then the autofocus just quits. And I don't know what that is. I don't know exactly what that is. If it's a firmware with the lens, a firmware with the camera, firmware with the adapter. I don't even understand yet if you can update the firmware on the adapter, how that works. That I'm still trying to figure that all out. The Megadap is the best really out there. Viltrox is not as good. You need to make sure that you have the ETZ Pro Plus. What is that? Okay, so yeah. So I've been hearing it works well, but I've only heard that. I don't know. I wouldn't expect it to, but I want to try it. What my plan was, I want to get, because I need to buy another adapter anyway if I do a 2-cam setup with my KXZ and my Nikon ZR now. So I'm probably going to get the Viltrox just to test it next to it and just try them both. I might do a video on that too and see if it works. Because if it works, then people can save some money on that. But are you saying that from experience, or have you used the Viltrox on the? Did you say you had the KX? Is that what you said? Or you're getting the KX? Did I skip a comment here? Ooh, no. The older Megadap ETZ21 is not firmware upgradable for some of the third party. So I don't know. I gotta look. I don't know which one's mine. I don't think it says on it. I don't think I got the older one, but yeah, I need to look into that. Yes, I think there are a couple versions of the Megadap adapter. Yeah, that's exactly what Mindful Grinds was saying. I knew there was. I just don't remember which ones I bought, because I bought this months ago, and I want to say I just typed in whatever was on Red's website that they recommended, and I just ordered straight from that. Oh, yeah. Did I go back? No better charger. Well, yeah, well, I'm sure you've seen after. It did have one. It did. Well, I guess that's what it is. I think you charged through the USB-C cable. So, TB&H has a sweet Tilta 4-pack. Yes, that Tilta 4-pack charger is. Oh, Caitlin's bringing this one in. I have the. I actually almost ordered the Nikon one. This is the Sony Z mount one. Yes, I love this thing, and we also have it in a Canon LP6. Because my Edelkrone jib and slider uses those too. But yeah, the deal they have with this and the Nikon I don't remember what they call these batteries. Yeah, it's sweet. It is nice. It is super nice. You just put them all here, plug it, charge them all, and then you just can take the case and go. It's a nice case too. It's got little rubber feet too, so you can sit down on your surface when you're charging things. It doesn't really slide around. I like this. Yeah, I want to get one for the Nikon ZR now. But I was trying to decide if I want to get that with a pack of batteries, or get a small rig with a V-lock adapter and just use some V-locks. If I need to take that many batteries, I may just rig it and put a V-lock on. But there's something about having that compactness is nice. Nikon just released an RWG log 3G10 to Rec 2020 in log LUT conversion version 1. Did they? I'll look that up. Dude, that's it. Yeah. I'm assuming this. Yep. Yeah. It's awesome. I still want to get the one. I don't know. I think it's so cool. I like the idea of just having it all there, and it's the case too. It's so neat. The lights are really cool. Yeah. All right. Now I'm gonna get back to messing with this here. See what. Right now, I currently have the Megadap with a G Master 50mm on. And I don't know if you guys can. This screen, I can't get over how big it is. Like, to me, that is the coolest. Well, not really. The coolest feature is the R3D roll. Second is the screen. But it is touch. Yeah, I don't see myself using a monitor with this at all. 32-bit. This is pretty neat. Now, I am curious. I thought I heard, I don't know if you guys heard it all too. I also heard that in the photo mode, I know people aren't talking about the photo features in this too, but this is going to be replacing my, I'm not a professional photographer. This is more for like content creation, Instagram, thumbnails, I mean, family photos, photos of the dog and all. I do like taking photos and I like to have the option. But I heard this has some red picture profiles, like some kind of red created picture profiles. And I'm curious what that is on here and how those look. Also, I actually had this in my red. I have the card goes in the bottom. Some people are throwing a fit about that. I don't think it really bothers me. I mean, for what this camera is and this body style, it does not really bother me. But I do have this Angel Bird has these 1 terabyte ones. Is it gonna go in? Not my face. Angel Bird has, was it the, kind of can't see it. Angel Bird Pro SE CFast Express Type B. So it's 1,785 megabits per second read. These go on sale every now and then for, there's $300 for this. This still is probably one of the best deals. Angel Bird makes Red's CFast Express cards. So it's the same card from there, from Red that this has. And it was working flawlessly in my KX. So anyways, those go on sale every now and then. I'm trying to catch another one because I need some more of these. And I got them for like $170, $180. So you can find those here and there if you keep an eye out. I haven't seen them go on sale for a minute, but I've been waiting since the Nikon ZR was announced. Waiting, but I think they make a 512 gig version too, but I don't know. Like if I need that much, I don't know. I like to have the terabyte and be able to record at least close to an hour or an hour. Yeah. Well, I'm going to keep messing with this here, but I did want to, the button, it feels like a nice modern, like, to me it reminds me of the A6000s, like the body style with a big screen. And I do, like I said, I do have the cage with the grip, and I have the dummy battery, which I don't know if this door, I do want to know for myself, does that door come off? I don't know if this door comes off. It honestly does not look like it does. And that, if it does, I'm not sure, but if that door doesn't come off, putting the dummy battery rigging in is going to be very annoying. Yeah, I don't even know where the, oh, I see where the micro SD card goes in. So, pop this in here. I don't know which way it goes. Facing out. Mookie MC. You can use Nikon Imaging Cloud to create, collect, and load image recipes and save them to your camera. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. So it's kind of like the, who was it? Was Panasonic released a Lumix something where you can like make your own profiles and like looks and save them and put them in the cloud and like download each other's and creators. And that's pretty cool. I'm going to look into that. I like that idea. I didn't know that. Right now I'm trying to really just dive into the settings to see where everything's at. I've heard it's a mess. I've heard this is one of the worst menu systems, some people said. But I don't know. I feel like they're all bad when you're not used to them, and then once you get to know them, they're fine. I don't even know where format is. I'm going to format the card. Format memory card. Full format. Press the F3 button. Okay. Manage settings. Monitor. All right, I'm gonna throw something wider on here. I'm gonna put my I'll throw a Sigma on here. My Sigma 24 to 72.8. There that is. How does it look? It's so weird having these on a small camera like this. Okay. So I'm currently looking at a log image. I'm going to try to see if there's a, I know there is a way to like video assist. Like the video assist color, so I can kind of see what that is. Well, I may mess with that another time. So I'm about to wrap this up and get off here. So if any of you guys have any other questions or want to see something, just let me know. File formatting, shooting mode. Where is? Video flicker, focus mode, AF. Full-time autofocus, continuous. Oh, okay. Area, auto wide. It's interesting. It's already defaulted into sport mode for video. That's the default. I spent days exploring the settings of the Nikon Z6 Mark III. The menus go deep and sometimes too deep, especially for someone who is more point and shoot or coming from a smartphone. Yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, like the screen itself makes it a little bit better experience. Just having giant words. I don't know if I can get in here where we can go to the menus together. I'm trying to find. Turn my mic. I'm trying to find where I would be able to turn on the like video assist. Like I don't know what it's called. I thought it was called that. I thought I heard someone call it that. Where when I go back to let me go back to shooting here. It's just log. It's just like a log screen. I'm trying to figure out how to set picture. No. Shooting display. Yeah, I don't know. I'll mess with it later. Let me get off here. I got, man, I was dying to mess with this thing today. I had to shoot all day. I was gone all day. Had to shoot in the evening, shoot in the morning, and just now got home, and I was debating on just unboxing it tomorrow and going live, but I was like, screw it. I'll do it tonight. So I appreciate you guys jumping on here and joining me in this late night unboxing of this. So Mindful Grinds says, I'm curious how much your ZR will possibly take over some of your run and gun shoots with the KX. I am very curious of that myself. I am very interested to see how much I start doing with this, even over my FX6, because I mean, this camera almost, I mean, it's a stretch to kind of say this, but it's almost like my Sony FX6s, and then I have one Komodo X. And the Komodo X is more for like more of my production work. The FX6 is more for like quick turn stuff or like dock stuff, or if I just need to do multicam stuff. The FX6 is an amazing camera. I love the Sony FX6. That's why I bought two of them. But the KX, most of the time when I turn away from it, it's not so much like the file size or anything. It's the autofocus. And rigging it on like a gimbal and all, if I needed to do that. It just, the Komodo X I've always heard, and I kind of understand for using it for a while. It is more of a production camera. If you got more people on set to help with other, not just like help on camera. You got like PAs on set at least, or somebody that's handling the lighting or audio, and your job is just camera. If you're going from a scene where it's on sticks and you're going like to a freehand or easy rig, you got to go to like a slider or a dolly, and you're going from that to, I mean, it's just when you're doing all that, it makes sense where you have somebody focusing on doing that. But when you have a camera where you're doing it on the low budget side and you're trying to move quick, light, and keep things simple on your end, so you're not stressing out on your set, especially with the client on set. Yeah, that's where I'm starting to wonder, like when I just want to breeze through it and I'm going to get very close to image quality of the Komodo X and get the dependability of the autofocus from the FX6. That's where I'll start seeing this thing start to become more of my A-cam. And I'm curious to see how much of work it takes over too. So compared to Sony or Canon, Nikon has insane menus. The bank system in the Z8 and Z9 is really difficult. I don't know what the bank system is. I don't know what that is yet. I don't know. Is that something like a Nikon thing? The screen of the ZR will cause other brands to up their game. It's too hard to go back to smaller screens, I bet. Will this replace a monitor for you? As of right now, like looking at it, yeah. When I bought this, I was aware of the micro HDMI and all. I don't, because it's not my main camera, and I like this to like kind of live on gimbals or be stripped down minimal. I'm not planning on using a monitor with it. And yeah, seeing it right now, like it is a really nice screen. It's really nice. Like looking at it right now, I don't see the need for a monitor. No. I think it should be fine looking at it. Yeah, and I do agree. I do think other brands need to step up, and this should be like the new standard. Because this looks amazing already. What's the first stress test you'll run on this camera? Battery life, technical comparison, autofocus, etc. I think, well, yeah, I'm going to test the battery life to make sure. I like to do those with any new camera, is run them rolling at 24p or even 60p and just run them, record, and see how long the battery lasts, how long I get on the actual cards, and just take note of that. So I'm just aware of that. Also, I like to see if they overheat. I've heard a lot of good things about this thing, because this is my first red flag one of why I almost didn't order this, was not having fans, because my A7 IV overheated. And once a camera overheats once, you kind of lose trust in it forever. And I've not heard of anybody really having any overheat issues with this. Nikon says they use some kind of new self-dissipation or something kind of new tech in this that is keeping it cool, and it sounds like it's really working. Brandon Talbot actually said he took it out to some desert, and he said it was like 98 degrees or something in the sun all day, and that didn't overheat. Like it was, if he had it out in that condition scenario, it's not going to overheat in like a controlled studio setting. I wouldn't think it would. And then comparisons. One of the big comparisons I want to do is just autofocus between this and the KX. I mean, is the autofocus going to be so great in this where somebody literally just wants the image of the KX but doesn't want to spend the money on a KX, and you get a better autofocus? Do you find yourself mixing FX6 and KX on shoots often? Yes, I have. And before that, I'm very familiar with mixing a lot of cameras. Anybody who's shot with me, I mix cameras all the time. And yes, I do spend a lot of time trying to match them. What tends to happen with shoots like that is the Komodo X is usually held back by the FX6. I mean, I can match them, but if I push the image further in the red, I can't push the FX6 usually to keep up. But the FX6 does amazing. But I can't get to the match. The red has, and I don't know if you've heard people talk about this with red. Red has this, I've heard it described as like a texture to the image. And I don't know how else to put my finger on it. And that is something I'm curious to see how the ZR actually has that or not. There's something about it where it's just super, I don't know, it's not sharpness, it's like detailed. There's a really organic texture to the image, I think is the best way to put it. And it is a 6K sensor, so it is sharper on the FX6. So, and I actually did a comparison between the A7 IV and the FX6, and the A7 IV is sharper than the FX6 because it is a downsampled 7K sensor. So that's really it. Sharpness kind of hard to match. Sharpness and detail, the Komodo actually comes out on that. Color, the Komodo has more range. Obviously, it's more to push it around way more. But that's not saying the FX6 is not bad. I just got to watch those limitations. It's almost like wherever the lowest image, I don't want to say image quality, the lowest image integrity is where the Komodo is held back. So I can't push past this. Like I keep at the FX6 level on the image when matching. So that's really it. Yeah. But the best B cam to an A cam is another A cam, and that's why I have two FX6s. Do you think this has a big chance to pull people into Nikon ecosystem, or will they just end up using multiple brands? I don't know. I mean, I think I'm a good example of that too. Like I've never even shot Nikon, never considered it at all. I mean, There was nothing really interested in me. I didn't think it was ever going to go Z mount or anything. Never. When this came out, I bought it as a B cam, like I said, to my KX. So, but now that I have one, and if I end up loving this, the next Nikon camera might be something I stay with, especially if I'm leaning more toward the red. I don't know. I think it definitely, I mean, if you look at the internet now, I think it's definitely brought in a lot of people at least interested in Nikon for video, which is so funny because it was just totally flipped that no one was interested in Nikon for video. Now it's all everyone's talking about. So, yeah, I think it would. But I think using multiple brands, yeah. So is it going to be kind of like if anyone's a gamer, you know, you got your Xbox, you got your PlayStation, but everyone's got a Switch. So I don't know if like you're going to have your Sony and your Canon people, but everyone's going to have their Nikon of some sort. Or your Nikon red shooters are going to have like a couple other, I don't know. I think it's going to be a mix, actually. But it's interesting. It's very interesting. Would have never thought I'd have a Nikon this year. I know you're trying to close out, but wanted to ask if you have paired up your red footage with Sony and how hard grading is to match up at least in your workflow. Yeah, I kind of talked on that a little bit, and I'd rather talk to you guys right now. That's awesome. If you guys got any more questions, that's what I want to do. But it's mainly that detailed sharpness and pushing the colors. But you can do it. It takes time. But I love the FX6 image. I have no issues with the FX6 at all. I just love pushing the colors in R3D RAW. And I am mainly an Adobe Premiere editor, and I'm dabbling in DaVinci for coloring, and I'm currently finding a workflow that round trips, which is just not efficient. But yeah, you can match them. You can. It just takes time. Yeah, it has very efficient passive cooling. Passive cooling, that's what it's called. Yeah, that's amazing they can do that and keep a camera this freaking thin with no fans. I was not interested in this camera because it didn't have fans. I thought, oh, that's cool. No fans, done. Not looking at it. But then after a while, I started seeing stuff. And I thought, oh, it looks pretty good. Do you have a preferred software plugin for matching cameras and post? I do, actually. I don't even know how I didn't bring it up. I used to do it manually all the time. And the first thing I do is really nail white balance and skin tones first, because skin tones need to match. But CineMatch, not sponsored, not affiliated at all. CineMatch by Film Convert is a huge time saver and at least getting close to a starting point. Like, it'll get you there. 100% recommend CineMatch if you got multiple cameras you're mixing. Film Convert, CineMatch. Do you have any videos that showcase your workflow when dealing with handling the assets you end up working with? So I'm not sure what you're asking there. Are you asking, do you have any videos that showcase your workflow when dealing with handling the assets you end up working with? Do you mean like just the footage in general? Like my workflow from offloading the card into just workflow? Is that what you're asking about? Trying to see how fast this thing turns. This is the fastest red camera to power. The red Komodo, if anyone has one, turn it on. It takes like, I think it's like 2 or 3 minutes. Turn on. It's insane. Yeah, I want to answer your question before I get off here. So, like importing footage. It depends. It really depends what I'm working on. If it's like long form YouTube podcasting, I can make a video like that if you're interested in that. Because I'm trying to think of more content. I'm always thinking of content to make. And honestly, it's why I started live streaming, because it's just easier for me to do. I've just been so busy lately. Yeah, my workflow, like I kind of mentioned it earlier too, like when it comes to backing up, I can talk about like my file management, but the project workflow itself, that could be a whole nother video I could talk about. But basically, like, my current workflow is not efficient. I need a NAS. Offload my media, my cards that I come from a shoot, to 2 devices, my working SSD that I'm going to work off of, and then a backup hard drive of that specific project. Once the project is done, I archive the SSD to an archive drive that is also backed up later. And then that temporary backup drive, usually I delete and just move new stuff on after that. It's kind of a workflow there. And same with the project drive. Once that's done, it comes off the project drive and that backup drive, and I kind of queue up, keep moving that through, and then pull in the archives. Yeah, not efficient, I know. I mean, but it works, and I have redundancy. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, I do have a subscription to Backblaze. Backblaze is such an amazing backup deal and a peace of mind. So that the archive drive is always backed up, and whatever drives are hooked up to my computer too. So yeah, that is something there. I think he's asking if you made any videos about your workflow. Yeah, I haven't. My workflow I feel like changes so much, but it depends on what I do. I do a variety of things, everything from commercial shoots to social media shoots to just simple testimonials. Dabbled in real estate. It's not really my thing. I do a lot of podcast editing. Like podcast workflow is completely different than anything else. I'm really cutting my teeth in some like documentary stuff right now. That I'm still learning. Art of documentary, I'm still working my way through their course. They have a ton of workflow stuff that's changed a lot of how I work through anything. So I recommend that too. Art of documentary is amazing. But I can do some content about that too. So you guys got me thinking about some stuff to make here. ZR turns on snap and it has solid autofocus. What more can you ask for? I mean, people always ask for more, like full-size HDMI. But honestly, I mean, R3D RAW full, that's the one thing I think people are kind of overlooking here. Like the cheapest full-frame camera in full-frame red is the Raptor. And before the Raptor, is it the ZE, the Essential one? Like it was $30,000. Now it's $15,000 was the cheapest way you can get into. $30,000, $15,000 options were your only way to like a full frame new red DMSC3 camera. And now this is full frame with the red codec in it. Like, and it's for $2,000. I mean, it's not even though it is the 12-bit, not 16-bit, but it's still R3D RAW. Yeah, insane. Yeah, all right. Well, thank you guys for jumping on here tonight. This was fun. I was actually glad that people came on and joined me. I wasn't a loner just unboxing my camera in the middle of the night by myself. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to do some more live streams on here too. I have a couple of people that I'm going to take the camera to and get their opinions on too. And I got a photographer friend that I want to talk to about doing photos on it because I think people are asking about photography on this camera. I'm curious. No one's really making content on that. So I want to do that. I want to compare the autofocus to the Komodo. I want to compare this camera itself to the A7 IV because why not? And then I also want to compare something like this to the Sony FX6. So I'll read this last comment. I'm going to get off here. So why would you need a full HDMI port when you really don't need an external monitor? Plus smaller guest cages with a bolt on an HDMI size converter for a ZR. Exactly. I mean, I don't know if it's a cost efficient thing or a size efficient thing, but it was not a make it or break it for me. I don't mind it. I don't mind the micro HDMI. Not my favorite, but not what I... Hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you, Cogs Mission. I appreciate that. I appreciate the reminder from everybody. Can I favorite this? Yeah, thank you. Oh, man, I'm never going to get off here. I want to stay on, but I know eventually I'm going to regret it tomorrow morning. Considering selling my Blackmagic full frame for the ZR, definitely want to see footage comparisons from people with different cameras that know what they're doing. Yeah, different footage from different scenarios, different types of things, whether it's lit, non-lit, interview, nature, landscapes, real estate. I mean, there's so many different things to consider in those, and just giving as much variety as possible is always great. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know which full frame are you talking about? Pixis? So what you got? Both good cameras. But yeah, I think the only reason you would ever really want to dive into the ZR is if you really want that R3D RAW. If you're not interested in R3D RAW, I don't know if this camera is something you would. Maybe you would. Maybe like ProRes. But yeah. All right. I am going to get off here. Yeah. Thanks, Mookie MC. Yeah, you didn't miss much. So thanks for coming by. Thank y'all for joining me here. I will be on and do this more. I'm really trying to do more live streaming. So I will catch you all in the next one. Thanks again.